guys. Ready to rock?
Well, welcome to BeeKonnected, What in the World? And we're hosted by Dave Roberts, founder, CEO, COO, and Chief Vision Officer at Vision Warrior, BeeKonnected.com. And today we're going to dig into BeeKonnected and talk about have a little discussion and listen to Dave talk about what in the world is going on with BeeKonnected. And Dave Roberts, take it away.
Thanks, Ricky. And so just so you know, Rickey Gene Wright is frequently my wingman, both in these BeeKonnected, what in the world. Like I said before, I started to do WTF, but I didn't want to be that crude. So anyway, we will be talking here. I have Ricky, who is a BeeKonnected elite coach, as well as Zibton, who is a BeeKonnected elite coach, and Nathan Daniel, who is a BeeKonnected and elite coach. And Nathan's just getting on here. And so, Zip, do you have anything to say before we start? Any quick words of wisdom or anything?
Nope, I won't mention pickleball. So that's the.
All right. Yeah, for those of you in BeeKonnected watching this in replay or here, if you really want to have a engaging conversation on pickleball, you can reach out to Zip. But Zipton is an amazing networker and a connector, if you will, here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But he's now applying his skills, and we're going to talk about how to do that even more using this platform. But he is a in-person networker extraordinaire, and we're going to talk about how to use the BeeKonnected platform and in his perspective on some of the strategies and things that he uses potentially. This is going to be targeting to be a 30-minute show, maybe a little longer, but not much more than that. And we'll be back on Tuesday evening at 7:30, and then next Monday. So it's 1:30 on Mondays, 2:30 or 7:30 on Wednesdays, and that is a regular schedule, and that's Central Standard Time. Nathan, you got anything to say before we start?
Let's go. I'm excited to be here.
All right. Well, I'm excited to have you here, Nathan. Nathan is a relatively new coach, an amazing entrepreneur, networker. He's building all kinds of, if you're into real estate or in a number of areas, Nathan can help you with your business. So encourage you to make sure if you're new to this platform, seeing it in replay or whatever, connect with Nathan. Nathan, go ahead and Zip both post in the chat. You don't have to do anything profound, just post in the chat. I'm teaching you something right here. When you join any show or any group, especially when it's live in the Hive like this, even if you're not on screen or you're just chatting, make sure you chat. Make sure you ask a question, make an observation, do something. Don't, and I'll get into this one, don't beat everybody up the whole time, but you can be active in the chat. Chat on relevant things. You can add value to the people, that it's not just delivered by the people on the screen and those kinds of things. So I'm just going to encourage you to engage when you're in these shows. So that's the first tip. So let me throw this one out, and I'm going to enable my partners to. We talked about BeeKonnected. So let me frame this just a little bit, and then again, we're going to try to target to be done about the top of the hour, maybe slightly past, but not much more than that. So here's where everybody, we call it the top 7 big current big tech choices. The thing is, for the purposes of this discussion, I'm going to share with you the summary of this. All of these tools, whether you're talking Zoom, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Kajabi, Udemy, whatever those kind of learning platforms are, they're all, except for Kajabi, they're all the rest of them are really media platforms. If you've been on any of my orientations or anything, you understand that BeeKonnected has some attributes that look like a lot of those things. However, they are not those things. And you need to really get your mindset, your strategy, how you do things on this platform more aligned with what good in-person networking practices are. If you deploy those practices and use the tools on this platform to do it, you're going to be much more successful than you will be if you act like you're doing or try to just replicate the things you're doing on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever. And you'll understand why I say that in a second. So here's, again, the components of the BeeKonnected platform today and the one that's coming in the whole premium content, paid networking groups and that kind of thing, as well as shows and stuff. And we won't get into that much now because I want you to understand coming out of this, what is the strategy for using what we have? First of all, I'm going to talk about video conferencing, but I'm not going to get into that too much because all I can tell you is I need to do better, and you can do better with building out your platform. We talk about the functions and features of being able to brand your meeting room, being able to make it very easy and organic, and that is a legitimate term in this, to either send somebody to your website, help them buy your book, help them sign up for your course, help them have a one-to-one with you, get on your calendar. There's a lot of things that you can do in that, but most people get at least a part of that. I'm going to come off screen here for a second, and I'm going to ask Rickey, because this whole schedule, I remember on the journey, this whole schedule a one-to-one thing and the organic or the integration of that was something that impressed you early on, and now you do. So Rickey, you want to open your mic, or are you tied up? Okay.
I had to shut the door
because your dog was barking. Yeah,
dog
that's
was
okay.
barking.
That's all right. Dogs in the background, I've learned, is not a turnoff. Most people say, "Oh, I got a dog. Rickey must be a nice guy. He's got a dog." Or cats walking across in front of your screen. That's also one that is okay. That's authentic. I mean, especially doing this like here, if you're trying to present yourself as being in a large office space, but this is targeted at entrepreneurs and small business owners. So did you hear the question, Rickey? I was talking about okay. So explain what I mean there.
Well, it's something that I myself need, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other entrepreneurs need, and that's some way to be more self-organized, having things all in one place instead of jumping from one thing to the other. I was just the first thing that impressed me whenever I came to BeeKonnected was, oh my gosh, here's something that at least two things that I'm doing, I know of, that I'm having to flip flop and go back and forth. Now they can be all connected together, connected. Oh, BeeKonnected. Yeah. Connected together, and makes me even more organized without me even trying. And so, that I just love that. Plus, I have a place that I can actually customize, send people to. Even when I'm not there, they can go to my room, go down there to the corner, and schedule a one-on-one, which is connected to my calendar. And there's three things then. So we can go on about the different things and how we can stream.
And we will go on about some of the other things.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to parse this up. So first of all, your meeting room isn't just, for one thing, you can't brand yourself like you can here on any other platform. So using your virtual meeting room, if you're a paid member, and if you're not a paid member, all I'm going to tell you is, what are you waiting for? Maybe you just got on the platform. I'm not beating you up, but I'm just saying, you have 3 places there that are static that will always be in your room. I tell people to think of it like you've invested in an office or an office space, let's say, and maybe a sharing space. And you can send somebody, say, oh, we'll go to my assistant and book a meeting with me. And then when we're done, when you're done scheduling it, then at the appropriate time that you scheduled, come back to my meeting room, right? That's what we're doing here. So that's that function of it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because I want to talk about some of the others that are even jump out at you more. Once you've got your virtual meeting room set up, all I can say is customize it. Think about not only what you're going to do when you have a live meeting, but how to use these static links or edit them and make them, really as functional as you can, so that you don't have to have a lot of dialogue with somebody before you get to this point of having a one-to-one. Let me come back to the main. So the HD broadcasting platform. Now this is a little more, there's some strategies around this. The one that I talked about before is when somebody is doing a live in the hive or you're joining a show on this platform, you can post in, and unlike some of the other streaming platforms, once the meeting's over with, your comments, your input in the chat, and those things are gone. Also, when you're streaming those other platforms here, you can put up calls to action and button bars and things that are hot and live during the session. And again, those can be ported over to the platforms, and that part of it's going to get even better. When I really want to drill down, and I'm not going to get into that as much because I think, again, people are starting to do that. That's commonly talked about in the Saturday shows, the various orientations. But I want to talk about this one in particular called the B feed, and it also spills over into the groups. So let me talk about the B feed. When you log into your platform, when you go to your dashboard, and that's going to evolve over time. When we release the next version, it's going to look a little different. So don't worry about that. Don't wait till that happens, by the way. That's one fundamental that everybody needs to understand is we're all Sherpas. We're here. We're early on. There's 25,000 people-ish on the platform. And when we go to 1 million, you've been here since we had 25,000 and you already are way ahead of the curve. So use the time, use the opportunity to build your community with the people that are here, with the functions that are here, with the capabilities that are here today. And then as they evolve, which they have over the 4 years I've been on the platform, by the way, you can go in and you can do more. And you're already established as somebody who is here and is an expert and is already building, whether you have the coach designation or you're just somebody who's really effectively using the platform. But let me talk to you about the B feed. This is one, and again, part of what you're going to get on my show, and this is the world according to me and some of my coaches, and you, if you want to weigh in, and I'm more than willing to have discussions around this stuff, is what is it that's most effective? On the B feed, if you think of it more like that's your mailbox. The reason why I say think of it like your mailbox is because your inbox in your email. What is the thing you dislike the most about things that come into your inbox? Anybody got an answer? Feel free. Spam. Good job.
Lots of you subscribe to one thing and they sell it out, and all of a sudden you got 20 emails. You never know where they're coming from.
Right. So and Ricky and Zip, you're in my local networking group of a few thousand plus. One of the things, what is the only thing, because we provide a list of everybody's email or their preferred email and their cell phones to everybody in Warrior Networking when they show up in the meeting, when they actually show up. We don't just blast it out to the world. What is the one thing that'll get you kicked out of the group?
Spam.
Ricky?
Spamming people.
Right. So that means you may have the best email newsletter of anybody on the planet. You may have the best program that they just don't know about yet, right? But if you're sending it to their inbox before they've actually given you permission, then that's called spam, right? Now, we can get into the finer points of how, email does that a certain way. So how does that apply to the B feed? Guess what? The good news is about the B feed is we are not throttling or on BeeKonnected. We're not throttling back your exposure. You'll hear this over and over and over again. One of the things that people on the platform love, if you have content to share or if you're trying to get people's attention, that you will, you can get it 100% of the people, it shows up on their feed. Now, what's the bad news of that? Anybody? It's the same thing. 100% of your input of the posts show up in your feed. What does that mean? I get 350 emails a day in one email box, 400 a day in the other email box. And so when somebody sends me something that I should or want to pay attention to in either one of those email boxes, guess what happens? If I don't get to it at the same time they sent it, what's the likelihood that I'm going to see it?
Slim and none.
Yeah, go ahead and speak. Use your inside voices, but go ahead and speak.
Oh, sorry.
Goose egg. Zero. Nada. Zilch.
Yeah, it's probably not. The only way that happens with me, and again, I know I'm talking email, but take this and think about the B feed. The only way I'm going to get that is, number one, for you to go in and search for my name and say, okay, Dave's sending me something, or you're sending, or I'll do it. I say, I'm looking for something for Nathan. And I go up into the search and search for Nathan, right? That feature right now in the B feed isn't there. It will be. Okay. So don't worry. It's eventually going to be there. But for the time being, what does it feel like when somebody is on the B feed doing what sometimes we've asked them to do, is engage on the B feed, let people know, let people know you're here, show them, how do you feel? And this is a legitimate feeling. I want to ask all three of you guys and anybody else that's watching this. How do you feel if Nathan Daniel posts, 10 posts in the same day to which is everybody's B feed? Anybody? Ricky, you want to weigh in? How does that make you feel?
For me, it becomes noise. I know you asked Ricky, but
Exactly. Noise is a great word. One of the reasons why I'm on this platform is I don't need more noise. I got plenty of noise on social media. But guess what? You have an opportunity here. People don't have to come and beat me up every minute during a networking group, because we're building a relationship. And I'm looking for what Nathan has to say. Ricky, you were going to say something. Did you have a thought? How do you feel about it? You feel the same way, or?
I do, and if it's too many, I'm going to sort of mentally block it all out.
Right. And actually, on the B feed right now, for those that are using it, you can follow or unfollow. That will become more meaningful in the future, to where you, not the platform, will be able to curate what comes into your B feed, your main feed, your news feed, if you will. Okay. Just like you can on others, except that you don't have control of that on Facebook or LinkedIn, or unless you're paying. If you pay, then you'll get exposure, and you have some other features. But here, everybody has that, and everybody has that problem. So again, the good news is it goes to everybody's feed. The bad news is if you abuse it, I mean, use it first, but use and abuse are two different things. Does that make sense? And abusing it, what's
Yes,
that
it
going to
does.
make? What are the masses, everybody on the platform, what are they going to feel, whether they know you or not, about you? Anybody
But
got a
I
guess?
think what's going to happen whenever that function gets turned on with follow unfollow, as soon as somebody can hit unfollow, you're gone.
Right.
You know,
So you're
you're
self-eliminating yourself into the feed by being obnoxious. Now that doesn't do much damage. Again, the good news, bad news, B feed versus social media feed, right? That's the thing. Is the good news is everybody sees it. The bad news is everybody sees it. The bad news is if you're, you know, a great guy and everybody needs to know you, or gal or whatever. I'm not, it just happens to be guys on the screen right now. But if you're a great guy, everybody's going to know Nathan Daniel's a great guy. Everybody's going to know Zibton's a great guy. Everybody's going to know. They're going to know that because you've gotten from the top of the funnel where they don't know you to having a one-to-one. Okay, so how you use the tool on BeeKonnected is look for posts in the feed that seem like they align with you. We can use the connection generator, but I don't wait on the connection generator to tell me, AI to tell me who I should connect with. If Nathan posts something on real estate and I'm interested in real estate, then I'm going to click on Nathan. He doesn't have to post that every day. The problem is if the feed is flooded with people just posting over and over and over again something. So the strategy needs to be, how do I post on my B feed? It's more like a personal Facebook page rather than a business page. So people go to a business page or they go to something and they say, okay, I want to hear, I want to go to the business because I got, a business and I already know what Nathan's does or, whatever. If they go to a personal page, they like the person. Their they people who are offered up to me, the thing is they throttle it back. Even I don't even see my wife's posts. Okay. So on Facebook, because they know I'm really interested and they want me to pay her to see my posts, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But all I'm saying is on this, you want to be more like the person who shows up in the networking group. And, Ricky and I and Zip are in the same, they show up to serve. They're not there just to pitch their stuff. They're not there just to make a sale. They're there to serve the other people that are in the community. That's kind of what my strategy is. And I would recommend everybody's strategy. That's just my opinion on the BeeKonnected platform, to get however you can do it, whatever your unique value is, bring it to BeeKonnected, bring it to the B feed, bring it to the groups that you're part of. But don't spam. One of the things I see going on, and the good news is, and the bad news, it won't be long before in its current iteration, the group chats are going to be folded into the new framework, and they won't be as we see them right now, which is kind of more like a WhatsApp chat group or one of those other, platforms that are, just kind of a streaming chat for groups. But for now, if you've been invited to a bunch of groups, right? And somebody's taking the same post and posting it in every group that they're in, and this is happening, and even with people very experienced on the platform, and you're in 2 or 3 of the same groups, what are you going to do? You're going to turn them off. Same thing as the B feed. Choose the group. understand the group you're in, understand the value that group, because that group should have like 3 questions and kind of give you some sense. And if you don't want to be in the group, get out of the group. And if you want to be in the group to hear what people in the group say, again, don't be like Mike. No, don't be like the people in the B feed where you're spamming everybody in the group. Right?
Yeah.
Zip, you've been
Yep.
quiet. What do you have to say about that?
Well, it is. I mean, I did connection generators and people, which I like the AI, and started a conversation and met a few different people, and connected with one lady, and trying to help her with a device, and invited to another group, and now she's happy, realizing that the device, she's not the only one in the world fighting to get things out there. So I'm trying to help her do that. So yeah, I mean, you can, and it's more specific than just sending something out there in space when you're connecting, because the AI generated a specific people.
Well, yeah, and I love the AI. And again, where we're at and what we currently have, you can take more control over that, because the AI will help you discover people that you don't know. But I guarantee you, if you go through the B feed or go through groups that you're part of, you'll see people making posts that are interesting to you. The problem is if you're seeing the same post across every group, then people are going to start opting out of some of those groups, and it's going to have the same effect as posting in your B feed. It's going to feel like spam. I know that's not people's intent. As I say, when you're in BeeKonnected, you're now in a much smaller community that's going to grow massively, right? And organic is a thing. That's the good news. The bad news is organic is a thing, and organically you're going to get known as a spammer and somebody that shows up to take or to sell, not necessarily to serve. You can sell. I have nothing against sales. This is a platform to sell more, and we're trying to make it easier then for you to ultimately sell your stuff. But anyway, so that's that. Any other thoughts on the B feed and the and connection generator, which I think is great? Any other thoughts around those from you guys? Anything you want to amplify?
No, you're doing a great job, Dave.
Good.
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
I wanted to there is sneaky spam too that you don't maybe not think is spam, and I have been on business social platforms before where somebody comes to me and says they're interested in talking to me, and they're in the same industry and they might want to collaborate. Come to find out, it was they had spammed a lot of people, and it really wasn't me they were interested in. They were just throwing stuff against the wall, and I tested it and said, yes, I'm interested. Never heard from them,
Yeah, that's the thing is, and I've referred to it, and you guys have, that is what they teach on social media. People that you'll pay to help you get found, if you will, or advertise your message on social media. They will teach you to do that and just keep banging at it, and maybe something will stick, right? You just keep going, post every day, post this. But people that are really good teachers in that space will tell you, when people are really following you for who you are, you don't have to sell with every post. You don't have to. You listen to what's on the feed,
Well,
Listen to what's going, especially in your group. Listen to what the people in the group are asking for. Whether you're leading the group or not, offer some value, offer some encouragement, offer something that sends a message that you showed up to serve. And if you do that, you won't become a pariah, a known pariah organically on BeeKonnected. I'm not trying to scare or turn anybody off from posting and whatever. So if you're watching this and thinking, okay, they're telling me to post, Dave's telling me not to post. That's not it at all.
well, I got
But-
something, Dave. I got
Go
something.
ahead, Nathan.
So I mean, I think, and I hear y'all on the DM thing, and I think, you know, the DM, there can be kind of spammy, right? Like if you're going to be doing that and all of a sudden it blasts out, Ricky, I know, like I get those like 20 of them a day almost now, but I think it's actually a really good method, a good strategy to be able to do that. But if you do it in the right way, like you're saying, Dave, like I think you have to slow down and don't go into it selling something, go into it with an interest in the person. If you slow down enough to say, hey, like I saw you're in this group, I've liked what you said so far, you engage in conversations for a few minutes, guess what? It's naturally going to come up. What do you do? Right? Like that's a natural part of our conversation. So, you know, I think it's actually a really strong strategy that you don't have to go out there and post on the B feed all the time. If you slow down enough and take interest in people, engage in conversations, and, you know, yeah, you might hop in the morning, you send a couple messages, and then you check back in the afternoon, but you still just start there. Like that's how I would use the direct message feed. So
yeah, Nathan, you're exactly right. That's brilliant. And that's really, I'm not saying that direct messaging people, but you know, what I do, for example, on the Saturday show or coaches, you know, any place where I run into people, you know, kind of like I virtually went to this meeting and I run into somebody, I'll say, hey, Nathan, I really liked what I heard what they said. I sensed some alignment there. And I said, I think we're on the same page, but you know, I'd like to get to know you. I don't know him. All of a sudden I'm doing something. And on this platform, that's real. That we talked about it on one of our Super Sherpas calls. And I said, you know, what I do, I don't mind getting 35 to 40 DMs a day, which I do on LinkedIn, but that's like the other, it's like spam, right? You know, it's like we were talking about. However, I'm willing to, if I see something that gets my attention, so it's good to do things that get people's attention. And if I look at it enough to see if they're interesting to me, and I have to go through that on those platforms, I'll say, okay, cool. I'm over here in BeeKonnected because this is where I have my trusted community of people. And if I want to go from the top of the funnel, which you just noticed I exist, to people to the bottom of the funnel, which is I'm either buying from you or I'm recommending you to other people to buy from you or whatever, if that's what your objective is. Have no problem with that. But here's how I'm going to do it. So if you're on this platform and you say, how do I get other people over here? Because there's a lot of other people that can be over here, is use that strategy. Use it on all of your all the media platforms. Don't get off of them. Don't say you're not doing it. Just use them for the purpose of basically getting exposure to what you're doing. And then when you find somebody that's interested, get them over here where you can get them from the top to the bottom with one click. If you get them over here and they just build out their profile, they're going to get people, not only you recommending them, but as Zip pointed out earlier, they're going to have the connection generators going to recommend them, right? And so the other thing is why you want to look at the B feed and these other places is those are people that are engaged, that are really there trying to make things work on this platform. There's other people that are on the platform, just like every other platform, where they're kind of either watching what's happening or they've engaged and disengaged. And now later on, they're going to wonder what happened. They're going to say, oh, wow, I really missed out. So you're at a place, if you're on this platform and you're seeing this training today. And we're essentially done. We're going to do the Wednesday show in the evening. We're going to start in the same place, but we're gonna maybe go into a few of the other things and get some other people to weigh in, or you guys can come back and weigh in, and we can talk about kind of where we were, and then kind of episode 2 and episode 3. We'll move around in the BeeKonnected platform. Does that make sense? Yeah, and
Yes.
that's what we want to do. We want people. I don't care whether you're in people that I've referred or any of our coaches. You're welcome here, and you're welcome here to add your comments, to add your perspective, to tell me I'm full of crap, to tell me that you have a better way. I want to learn. So this is what this is about. We all want to learn. We all want to be more productive, and we all want to enjoy the rising tide that floats all boats for the people that are on the platform and active right now. So, Zip, got anything else to say? Say something so that I'll get you on screen for a minute.
Say something. I asked my granddaughter to say grace one day, and she said grace.
Okay, that's
So
good.
I thought I'd add a little humor here.
Yeah, that's good. A little humor is good. But anything, how do you feel about the approach on this type of show? Does that work for you? You think it's going to be useful?
Things we're trying to do in networking and giving some people, maybe somebody needs a little encouragement or a little difference to show the difference in between spamming and networking. So yeah, I thought we did great. You did a great job.
How about you, Rickey Gene? What do you got? Anything else to say? Thank you for the introduction again. Thank you for the theme song for my podcast. I never thank you enough.
Actually, I like this concept better than just one person talking all the time. And, I've told you before that, there are certain people that I like to listen to more than others, but I like the idea of having multiple voices and it being more of a contributing thing of more voices than just one person talking all the time.
Okay, great. And Nathan, since you invested your time to show up here today, by the way, any of these guys you need to reach out to. Anybody they're connected to, you need to reach out to, because these guys are the cream of the crop. So Nathan, anything else you have to say?
I've been in software and tech for a long time, and I know you know that, but I think it's just like with any platform that you get into that has so much robust back office that you have access to. Pick one thing and start going from there. Like in the beginning, one thing that I did, I just like, okay, cool. I'm moving away from another major platform that does virtual rooms, and I'm moving to this, right? And slowly over time, you incorporate one thing. So I love the format, talking about one thing at a time, and how can you take that, and whatever the conversation happens to roll into, is it something you want to implement or not? So I think that the format's great.
All right. Well, I love that. And you guys all hit on 3 important points. That's why we're doing this. Last thing I want to say is that there's a lot of orientations there, and there's a lot of coaches taking their angle on the beach ball and trying to do things. I'm not the only one. We're going to be very authentic. We're going to talk about the good news, the bad news. We're going to talk about what's working. We're not going to focus a lot on what's not, other than we know what's not working. We'll talk about hopefully how to do things, but not in a click here and do that, but more in, how to approach and strategy for how to accomplish things. And that's going to change. So this will probably be obsolete at some point, but most of what we're going to talk about are what I call networking fundamentals. They're fundamentals of human behavior that we've gotten away from on a lot of the social media platforms. And now people are coming here with all those, what I call bad habits, to try and apply that here. And it's not going to yield I'm afraid are concerned that it won't yield the results you're looking for, and you'll be disappointed in what you're getting on the platform. So that's what we're targeting on. There's in the back office, you can go under your Me tab. There's some amazing tutorials that have been created. There's other coaches, and we have some orientations on this platform on our channel. There's other, there's going to be new orientations coming along all the time. And there's plenty of resources, but that's what we're focusing in here is BeeKonnected, what in the world, and really targeted at what do we have our hands on and how to use it. All right, let's go. That's it. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank you all
week.
for your support. Thank you everybody that'll see this, that are seeing this live. We'll see it in replay, and we'll be back on Tuesday night at 7:30 if you're around to talk about this and some other little things that have occurred to me along the way. And so anybody has something they want to talk about there, just join in.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Ricky.
Thanks.
See
See
you,
y'all.
Nathan.
See ya.
Have a great week.